Hey everybody, Joe here today, and this video is a response video in regards to the Fragrance Bros. They asked more reviewers and people in general to vlog on different takes of oud, because if you don't know already, it is Oudvember. So I went ahead and decided what better way to start off with my response videos than a new fragrance that isn't even in the States yet. Tom Ford's London. Thank you, Nilo. You know, he's in the Facebook groups. If you're in the Facebook groups, Fragrance Guru Nation, Fragrance Swap, and all of them, you know who I'm talking about. If you don't, then you kind of need to join now, don't you? He went ahead, hooked me up with a decant, 10 ml decant. I've used maybe about 5 mils of London already. I've been wearing it for just about a week now, so I pretty much have a decent enough opinion to where I can share some sort of thoughts, some sort of insight, and already kind of grasp how this fragrance is going to be. So yeah, it's Oudvember for the Fragrance Bros. Every day they're shooting a different fragrance with oud. I'm not going to do it every fragrance, every day as well. I'm just going to do some of the days. Alright, enough talking. Let's get to the bottom of this juice. This fragrance, when you start off, it is going to hit you with a blast of spices. I mean, like in video games, they have like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, real things where like you charge up before you go ahead and you punch somebody, or you attack, and that's really kind of how this introduction is. The fragrance overall is pretty complex in regards to a fragrance. I'll probably say it's on the 8 scale of a 8.5 of a complexity scale, just because there's so many just different spices, and this introduction is loud and full of spice, blast of just saffron and cumin and pepper and all kinds of just various spice. Not so much cinnamon, but every other kind of spice in the world. Cardamom also, just in there. You also detect a little bit of coffee, where it's not a intense cafe, pure coffee kind of coffee. It's just kind of like if you've just been sitting around, a cup of coffee, or you're walking around and you happen to just smell somebody's cup of coffee that's been sitting there for a while. It's kind of like that, at least on me. Then you get into a little bit of incense also that kind of comes into play with the spices and everything, and then towards the end it just kind of just evaporates and turns into musk. Kind of a slightly BO like, very balmy, but it is kind of slightly BO in a way. But honestly, I like the scent. This could possibly be one of those scents where if you really like Tom Ford, you're gonna like this. If you just think it's okay, you're gonna be on the fence. And if you just only like 1 or 2 fragrances from Tom Ford, you're probably not gonna like this. If you like the fresh frags in general, you probably will not like this. Occasions I could see this really being a semi-formal, formal, casual. I'm not sure about romantic. I probably would not wear this at all. This wouldn't even be a consideration for a romantic scent. Just because I feel like the complexity It's really taking a shot in the dark there, especially on a first date. I would not recommend this. Um, Unless you're just really lucky to have a good, to randomly meet a girl who is really into fragrances too and really appreciates all fragrances, then maybe, but that's even still a stretch. I'd really just stick for like casual, informal events. I wore it around work and really did not get that many responses when I didn't have to fish for the compliments. When I was like, hey, can you smell me? How's the smell? What's it like? Then they were like, it's nice. Or a lot of people, like about, let's say I believe I asked like 30 people at my job. And like about a good 15 to 20 said that they liked it or it was decent. And then the rest just didn't like it, honestly. Normally I don't like fishing for my compliments, but just to kind of really see with this juice if people would like it or not. And so it was very different. It was either you liked it, thought it was nice, okay, but there was nothing that was like, wow, when they smelled it, that's really good. This one kind of different from the Cafe Roses and some of his other private blends. Performance for me, this is where it's gonna take a lot of hits. I like my fragrances to last long and strong through and through. And really after about the 3 to 4 hour mark, I really start to feel all those spices kind of die out, that incense die out and just kind of be this thing gave me a solid 6.5 hours. Nothing more, nothing less, exactly 6.5. The dry down is musk through and through. And really, that's really how it was. It wasn't really too powdery despite it containing that cardamom. But, it is what it is. Personally, again, I like the scent. I'll probably buy a bottle of the scent just because I like Tom Ford fragrances. I have 6 of them. I'm looking to add another 3 before the year's up. And then once London comes out, I'll probably add that one too. So, again, if you like Tom Ford, you're going to like this. If not, not so much. To kind of put you in like the environment, I've never been to London, so I can't tell you if this smells like London. Can't. Haven't even left the East Coast with the exception of New Orleans for Mardi Gras, so. But what I can say for my fair share experiences of downtown, let's picture that it's kind of like an overcast kind of day maybe. And, you're dressed up decently. And basically the oud makes it kind of sort of darker and overcasty. And with it, you're in the city, you have your cars, driving everywhere. You're just walking down, strolling through the city. The cars are emitting exhaust. This exhaust is actually just all kinds of spices just blended through and through, just throughout the city, kind of in the air. All your spices, as I mentioned. And also too, you have like your incense from like different shops or whatever. So you pretty much have cars exhausting spice and incense. Oud makes it kind of not like a dark day, not like a super gloomy day, but just a regular overcast kind of day. And you're not exactly like right next to, but you're maybe like a block or 2 away, and you do kind of get like a slight feel of a coffee aroma. Not really, really, really strong, because the coffee note in here is not that strong, but you do get like that coffee aroma just kind of also in the air in the city. And pretty much you happen to be there from like a good 6.5 hours. And as the day passes and you're still in the city, it does start to brighten up. You know how like the sun comes out every once in a while during the overcast kind of day? And that is, and then it pretty much, sun comes out, not as many cars on the street anymore because they're all just about home at this point. And it's just kind of left with a very airy kind of remainder of what was the day in the city. That's pretty much how I feel about this fragrance. If you've ever spent multitude of hours, of several hours, or maybe if you live in London, you could know how this smells. Again, this fragrance isn't even in the United States for a while. So I'm just happy to have my hands on this decant. Again, it's quality juice, but you definitely need to try this one. So yeah, those are my thoughts. I do like the juice. I will get a bottle. Try it. Try to find somebody else, you know, in London, in the UK or whatever. If you're in the States. If you're in London, check it out. Those are my thoughts. Those are my opinions for Tom Ford's London. Scent of the day today was Memoirs of a Trespasser from Imaginary Authors. Dan My Mickers likes to call this the Sticky Bandits because he gives the girls Sticky Bandits. Watch his video. I'll put a link to that down below. I'll put a link to the Fragrance Bros channel so you could check out their Oud Member if you aren't already subscribe to those guys. Shout out to Lupe too. Lupe really kind of, you know, I was kind of talking to him about it, and he really kind of just shared some thoughts and opinions about it. So he was really the first person to at least try this juice and put it out in the air, and now I finally got my hands on it. So I'll put a I'll put a link down below to Lupe's channel too. Subscribe to my bros. Is that it? Yeah, that's pretty much it. I wrapped up my subscribers' choice, so I'll be filming that or shooting those soon and doing the takes and trying those out. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. Let me know if you've tried London. Let me know if you've tried Memoirs of a Trespasser from Imaginary Authors or anything from either line. Share your thoughts and opinions. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. I'm Joe. Thank you to all my subscribers. I'll see you.